As some of you know from my previous video, I had a RAM issue in my system. One of these two is bad. I got a little green mark on, but you probably can't see it in the video. Now, my computer holds 8 gigs of RAM. Each RAM strip is 4 gigs, and you put them in sets. But the reason I'm taking these out, even though they're good, is because I know them are bad. These match those, so I'm going to remove them all. Now, the ones that remain in there, I could have just bought another 16 gig and added to that 16 gig and been fine. But just to get by this whole problem all the way around, I've bought a whole new 32 gigs of memory right here. Open one of these. Let's take a look at it. Now let's see if this thing will focus. Probably not. Okay, so that's the memory that's in the system. And like I said, each one of them is 4 gigs, so that's 32 gigs of memory. Now, if you remember, the reason why I checked the memory was I was giving the system a test because I wanted to change the video card out. Now, here is my old video card. It's a Quadro FX4800 with 1.5 gigs of memory. Now the memory did run at 382-bit, but it was DDR3. And the drawback to this was, first of all, with 1.5 gigs memory, with the massive file size of the project I'm going to work on, I don't think 1.5 gigs would be enough. Plus, if I want to implement any features of DirectX 11 or DirectX 12 for that matter, but DirectX 11 is all you need, then this wouldn't work. Now, theoretically, I could have kept this card though and made it work. It would have worked if push came to shove, but I didn't use it. So, what video card did I get? There. It's a 6 gigabyte of memory, GDDR5, Geforce GTX 1060. Now, why didn't I get the 1070 or 1080? Well, they have 8 gigs of memory, but I don't think I'm going to need that much memory. All I really got this for was to get a little more memory. If I'd had 3 or 4 gigs, I would have been fine, but I was not going to get the GTX 1060 that had the 3 gigs on it, by the way. That's a waste of money. You might as well spend an extra $50 and get the 6 gig and get it out of the way for future growth. Now that is a gaming card, whereas the other card is a CAD card. But I ran the specs on it, and since these cards gaming cards don't do nowhere near as good in CAD type stuff, 3D graphic type stuff like that, but they will do it. But since this card was way more powerful and a lot newer, I figured that it would at least match the one I had, and it does. It actually beats it by about 2% in that card's kind of world. In the gaming world, of course, this thing walks all over it because this is what kind of card this is. So in other words, I've got the bases covered as far as what the old card did. This one will do, and then just a tiny bit better. And of course, in the gaming, it'll do a lot better. But what I was really after was the extra memory and the fact that it'll run DirectX 11. This is DirectX 12 card, but all I was worried about was DirectX 11. So I've gotten the card, and I've gotten the memory. Now the project can finally move forward. I can move it in, put all this in my computer. Okay, so you may be wondering why I would use this old computer if it may have issues with the motherboard. Simply this: I've had this computer for years. This computer has done me very well, and you could say I want to send it out with a bang. This video card that I purchased is the final upgrade it'll get. And I could have got the 1070, but the 1070 uses an 8-pin power connector, and this system only uses 6 pins, and this is a 6-pin card. You can use an adapter, but I didn't want to. But that's why I chose that card. You may also wonder why I picked the base model reference card. Well, that's exactly why I picked it, because it hasn't been overclocked or anything like that, like these other ones. And I want the base card. I don't want overclocking and all that. Reason why, the card will tend to last longer if you're not overclocking it, so on and so forth. I never overclock anything, so I don't want to buy a card that's already been overclocked. Old RAM. Okay, ground out on the case. Wiggle. Okay, that should be alright. Video card back in it. Back up. Make sure them wires are staying hooked in because they tend to want to fall out. Put the power back into the... Make sure nothing's going to hit the blade. Find the 0. That up. There we go. I ain't worried about the secondary hard drive at the moment. And that's her.